Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria, I'm a fashion designer. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how to cut a short with back elastic band. So if you're interested in this, just keep on watching. Here I'm going to start by marking out my full length, which is 20 inches. Then I'm going to mark out my starting line here, which is going to serve as my waistline, as you can see. So I've already marked it out. From here I'm going to come down by 9 inches, which is my hip line, which is 9 inches, and also going to go ahead to mark out my crouch line. As you can see, my crouch line is 11 inches, so that is my hip line plus 2 inches extra. That is going to serve as my crouch line. So here, as you can see, I've already used my straight rule to extend it. So here I'm going to mark out 4 inches on my crouch line, which is going to serve as my tie line or lap line, anyone that you find fitting for it. So that's what I call my tie line. So here I'm going to work out my hip measurement plus 2 inches seam allowance. So here my hip measurement is 36 divided by 4, which is 9, plus 2 inches, which is 11 inches. So that is what I'm marking out here. I'm going to come down to my hip line also and mark it out. So as you can see here, that is it. I'm going to use my straight rule to connect the 2 dots. So here I'm going to mark out 3 inches for my flap. This is 3 inches for my flap. Then I'm going to come down to the crouch line and mark out 11 inches. That is my hip measurement plus my 2 inches seam allowance. Then here I'm going to mark out the 3 inches for the flap as well. So here at the 3 inches, I'm going to connect it down to the hemline. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at the video. So here I'm going to go ahead to mark out my waist circumference. My waist circumference is 28 inches divided by 4, which is 7 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance. So here I'm going to mark out 7 inches here, as you can see. Then I'm going to add my 2 inches here. As you can see, this is what I'm doing. This is 2 inches here. So here I'm going to just use my curve rule to curve my flap. And I forgot to do that when I marked it out. So this is what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to go ahead to mark out my flap, my tie measure, my circumference, sorry. This is my tie circumference. My tie circumference is 22 inches, which is 22 divided by 2. This tie line, you're not going to divide it by 4, you're going to divide it by 2. So it is 22 divided by 2, which is going to be 11 inches. So I'm going to come down to my tie line and remove 1 inch. As you can see, I just came down there to remove 1 inch at the side, as you can see. Then use my straight rule to connect from the from the crouch line to the hemline. That hemline, I came out by 1 inch, as you can see. So here from my tie line, I marked out my tie circumference, which is 11 inches. Remember I said my tie measurement is 22 divided by 2, which is 11. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it out. Then I added extra 2 inches for seam allowance. I wanted it to have that is like enough space to fit in. I didn't want my tie measurement, like the tie side part of the short, to be tight. So as you can see, then I marked out at the hemline half of an inch just to connect the tie lines together to give it that good structure. So that is it. So I'm going to use my straight rule to connect my waistline to my hip line, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it and cut it out now. So guys, we are done with the cutting of the front pattern. So as you can see, I've already placed it on my back pattern, on my fabric for my back pattern. So here I've marked out 1 inch. Here, the reason for this 1 inch is just to give you that ease to be able to make the backbone to sit perfectly. Like, it won't have to be tight at the back. So this is it. So I'm going to just use my chalk to curve it in. So here I'm going to mark out 2 inches for the flap, for the back flap. As you can see, remember for the front one we used 3 inches, for the back we added 2 inches. It's depending on your size. Like if you are 40 inches and above, you can use 3 inches for the back. You understand? So here, as you can see, I'm using my curve glue to connect the two dots. Sorry. So here I'm going to mark out 1 inch here for the tie line, just to give it that ease. I don't want the tie part to be tight at all. I just want it to be free. So here, as you can see, I marked out 1 inch just now, connecting the dots together. So here, this is it for the back pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead to cut it out now. So guys, while I was cutting this part out, I realized that I made a mistake here. I wasn't supposed to cut this part out. This part is supposed to help to give that back part the allowance that it needs to be able to, to fit in with the elastic band that we're going to put at the back. So while cutting the waistline of the back, don't cut it out at all. Just leave it as it is. Just cut from the hip to the hemline. I hope you understand what I mean. So this is it for the back. I'm going to show you what I meant by not cutting the waist out when I'm sewing it. So just hang on for my next video for the sewing tutorial. So guys, on my waistband here, as you can see, it is 9 inches for the front band and 10 inches here for the back. As you can see what I'm measuring out on my waistline. So remember I said that I made a mistake while cutting the back pattern. So we are not going to use 10 inches for the back. So in cutting out my waistband, I'm going to measure out 20 inches. That is 10 inches multiplied by 2. It's going to be for the front band. Remember I said that the front band is not going to have any elastic, but the back part is going to have an elastic. So here, as you can see, I'm going to mark out the length of my band, which is going to be 5 inches. Then the width of my front band, I'm going to make it 24 inches. That is 10 multiplied by 2, which is 20. 20 plus 4 inches extra seam allowance, just to be on the safer side, so that my front band won't be too short, like when I'm attaching it to my waistband. You understand this more when I post my sewing tutorial on it. So here, as you can see, I've already cut out the front pattern here. So here I'm measuring out 24 inches. I don't know if you can see it properly. So this is 24 inches. So here I'm going to go ahead to mark out the back band. So the back band here is I'm going to mark it out as 30 inches. But 30 inches plus extra 4 inches seam allowance. So 30 inches plus extra 4 inches seam allowance is going to be 34 inches, just to be on the safer side, so that it won't be too short or when I'm attaching it to the shorts. I hope you understand what I mean. So here I'm done with the cutting of the back and the front pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out my pockets, because this shirt is going to have front pockets. So here my measurement is 11 inches by 8 inches. So I didn't show it to you with my tape. Sorry, it was a mistake. So we're just going to mark it out. Just going to cut it out, sorry. So this is 11 inches by 8 inches. That is it for the pocket. So we are done cutting it out. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out 2 inches. This is where I'm going to be attaching the front pattern and the back pattern. I'm going to notch it at this is 2 inches. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here, but during my when I'm going to sew the pockets on the short, you understand what I mean. So this is it for the cutting of the short, the front band, the back band, and the front pattern and back pattern and pocket. So thank you so much for watching. Just hold on for my next video.